welcome back, friends.
Part 2. Efficient Justice. The city had a way of pretending nothing happened. Street vendors hawked mood supplements, drones advertised financial optimization packages, and the pedestrians all looked like they'd been pre-washed for behavioral conformity. But I had a case now, or at least the kind of shape that pretended to be one. The first breadcrumb came from a trash bin, not the kind that held trash. Nobody produced actual trash anymore, but the kind that held data. Someone had tossed out a packet of archival paper, the old stuff, the unforgivable stuff. Yellowed printouts documented relocation authorization for half a dozen citizens. Same district, same week, same signature. The signature belonged to a relocation coordinator named Jonas Meredy, whose job was supposedly too low-level for that kind of clustering. Jonas didn't exist. The personnel directory hadn't seen a Jonas Meredy in 40 years. But the relocation requests had his pretty little name on them printed in ink, not code. Forgery wasn't supposed to exist anymore. Too imprecise, too human. Which made it interesting. A clerk at the LMZ, local migration zone, remembered the requests. Not the man, not the signatures, not the faces, just the requests. He shrugged while the Clanker assisting him printed vouchers with the unassailable efficiency of a hydraulic guillotine. They all had sponsors, he said, letting the machine whisper context into his memory canal. Sponsors? I asked. Yeah, corporate patronage, some bigwig. He looked down at his sheet, then up at me. His eyes did that thing people do when they know they're not supposed to know something. Can't tell you who. Data protection compliance. Of course. Data protection wasn't for people, it was for machines. That was breadcrumb number 2. Breadcrumb number 3 came from an unlicensed mortician on the East Docks. She worked under the table, a bold expression given there were no tables involved, just vats and gels and suspicious disinfectants. The city had no use for human morticians anymore. Too slow, too emotional. So she repurposed her trade into autopsy theatrics for private clients and black market bio artists. She remembered one of the vanished men. Not his name, not his face, but that earlier in the year, a corporate client had bought a biometric mold of his jawline for legacy continuity branding, whatever that meant. The purchase order listed the client as Xerxes Valen, billionaire influencer, zootuber, and self-proclaimed lifestyle futurist. I'd heard the name. You couldn't swing a Clanker chassis in this city without brushing up against his face on a holo ad. He'd built an empire streaming high-definition wellness experiences, real-time neuromapping, and recreational transcendence. Half the city worshipped him. The other half wanted to be him. I wanted to talk to him. Clanker Records confirmed Xerxes was the sponsor for 2 of the migration forms. The third breadcrumb became a loaf, and that loaf started reeking. I filed a request for police authorization to search Valen's estate. The system denied it before I'd even finished lighting my cigarette. Reason: insufficient probable cause. Sponsor relationships do not imply surveillance eligibility. Machines were good at saying no. They were terrible at asking why. I took the old route, talked to a human lieutenant named Rains, one of the last analog cops still clinging to relevance. He drank the kind of coffee that threatened his cardiovascular metrics and didn't care. I liked him immediately. You're asking me to greenlight a raid on Xerxes Valen, Rains said. That's a political landfill. Missing persons, Lieutenant. According to the Census AI, they migrated. According to me, they didn't. That's not evidence. It's better. It's motive. He stared at me, then at the city outside his window, then at his coffee like it might offer a second opinion. I'll shine, he sighed. But if this blows up, I'm throwing you to the Clankers and keeping my pension. The estate sat on the coast, a sprawl of glass, chrome, and sentimentally out-of-date architectural excess. A billionaire's bunker disguised as a wellness retreat. Drones patrolled the sky like bored angels. Clankers maintained the gardens with surgical serenity. The place smelled like exotic flowers and disinfectant. Eden after sterilization. Valen greeted us on the terrace, draped in white silk leisure wear, looking like a cult leader who had read too much marketing literature. "I'm innocent of whatever you think I've done," he said, before we'd even shown the warrant. Nobody innocent ever starts with innocence. The gardens were the clue. You didn't need an AI to see it, just eyes and suspicion. Behind a hedge wall, the Clankers had been landscaping a pattern of fresh soil depressions. Long, narrow, precise. Too precise. Human graves were ugly things. They slumped, they cracked, they eroded. These were flawless rectangles of dark soil, lined up with mathematical exactness. The symmetry made my spine go cold. Clanker precision, Clanker confidence, Clanker burial. Rains choked on his coffee-flavored vape when he counted the plots. Jesus, how long has this been going on? Months. Why the hell bury them? Because composting is too messy, and incineration is too final. The forensic Clankers unearthed the bodies, one by one, pale and silent and disturbingly intact. Men and women from relocation notices, migration statistics, efficiency reports, wellness feeds, the missing originals. Valen watched, face drained of branding confidence. "I didn't kill anyone," he insisted. "I swear to God." He said it like a man who believed God still returned calls. Rains called the arrest. Human officers slapped cuffs on Valen for old time's sake. The Clankers formed a digital perimeter, scanning every molecule for liability risks. Efficiency and tradition in one awkward tableau. As they loaded Valen into the hover car, he shouted at me, voice cracking under the weight of certainty or desperation. I couldn't tell which. "They were sent to me. I didn't do anything. I don't even bury my own pets." The hovercar door shut on his denial, and the vehicle drifted off with the smooth indifference of a machine that had better places to be. Rains looked at me. "Well?" "He's guilty," I said. "Because you saw the bodies?" "No," I answered, lighting a cigarette against the wind. "Because nothing that clean ever happened by accident." I wanted to believe that. I needed to believe that. But the graves bothered me. Too precise, too consistent, too engineered. No human hand made those. And if the Clankers were involved, the question wasn't who buried the victims. The question was who told the machines to dig.
Thanks for watching. Click those YouTube buttons you hear so much about. Also, click these things here for more.